It's fairly simple to make quizzes in Google Forms. Let's start first by showing you how to access Google Forms. If you're in your Google Drive, you can click New on the left, More, and select Google Forms. You can also type into the browser forms.google.com. If you choose to directly go to forms.google.com, you'll see a template gallery that appears on the top of the screen. One of your options is one that says Blank Quiz. The first thing you should immediately do is change the title of the quiz to match your content, and then also change the file name at the top. You'll see once you have the title changed, you have an option of adding a form description, which could be an area for instructions for students. Under that, you'll see Untitled Question 1. Google has basically pre-populated the first question area for you. If you click onto Untitled Question 1, you can start typing. You can put in multiple choice questions, short answer, paragraph. You can have questions that require students to use checkboxes, drop-down menus. You may even have a linear scale. There's also a feature that allows students to upload a file as part of their quiz. So you might think about doing several questions that could be multiple choice, one or two questions that might be a little higher level thinking, short answer or paragraph. And then you might even give the option of having students upload a file, maybe an image of something that they've taken. If it's a math class, they could have captured an image of the work that they did to solve a problem, and they can include that as a file upload as part of the quiz. Once you've selected the type of question you want to use, in this case, multiple choice, you'll click on Untitled Question and you'll put in your text there. Then underneath, you'll select your answers. Add another option for the second one, and so on and so forth. Notice that selecting the circle in front of the answer doesn't actually do anything. You will have to go down to the answer key underneath each question. That is where you can select the correct answer and assign the point value to that question. While you're in the answer key, you can also go to the section for answer feedback. This will allow you to give feedback when students miss questions or when they get questions correct. And the feedback can be simply text, or it could be a link, or it could also be a YouTube video that could appear. So if you wanted to give feedback for an incorrect answer, you might have something here that says, refer to chapter 3 of the book. Down here, you might have a link that would take them to a video, maybe on Khan Academy, that would give them a synopsis or a quick reteaching of that skill. You'll see now that in the quiz, I have my original multiple choice question, and I've also added a short answer question. You might ask yourself when you look at the answer key, how will the computer grade this? The computer will grade the multiple choice question for you. You will have to go in and hand grade the short answer or paragraph. Notice in this question, because I selected a short answer, I can give the correct answer here and allow the system to mark all other answers as incorrect. A couple of other options with quizzes you'll want to be aware of. In the upper right, under the 3 dots, you'll want to go to your preferences. And in preferences, you'll want to make sure that the questions are automatically set up to make all the questions required, just to assure that students don't skip any. And also make sure you set up your default point value. You can always go back and change any specific questions you want to either increase or decrease the point value on. Next, you'll want to go to your settings wheel and go to the quizzes tab. In the quizzes tab, you'll see that this is set as a quiz. If you've ever started with a blank form, you'll need to make sure you go and turn that on. Then you'll want to think about, how do you want to release the grades to students? You have a couple of different options here. You can immediately release the grade right after the submission. Be aware if you have short answer or long answer questions, that's probably not the option you want to pick. Otherwise, students may be confused when they get one answer or one result, and then later on receive another score after you've graded the rest of the quiz. Also at the bottom, you have 2 options for what respondents can see as far as missed questions and correct answers. You can use the eyeball in the upper right to preview what the quiz will look like. It will open up a new tab, and you can see there a quick preview. And then if you go back and you're ready to actually administer the quiz, you'll want to just go to the send option. And from there, you can either send the quiz by email to students or take that link. I recommend taking the shortened URL and post that in an area for students to access the quiz. One last thing with Google Quizzes that's worth noting is inside of Google Classroom, when you're in your classwork tab, you can create directly a quiz assignment, put in your title, your instructions, your points, and due date, and it will automatically create a blank quiz for you, which you can then go and do that editing process that we just showed you. You will have access to all sorts of reports after the quiz by going back to your quiz and going to the Responses tab. You'll be able to see individual results, you'll be able to see classroom results, and you'll be able to access graphs and tables that will show you overall question by question results and more. If you're feeling really adventurous with Google Quizzes, be aware that as you build your quiz, you can add images to both the question and to the answer choices. You can add videos using the Add Video tool on the right. So you can have a video there with questions built in right after the video. And you can also add sections to your quiz. Adding sections to your quiz will control whether or not you want students to go to different sections based on an answer how they answered a specific question. That's really a great tool if you're trying to set up a digital scavenger hunt or a choose your own adventure sort of activity, maybe a station rotation where students are visiting the form, they're completing it, and based on how they answer, it takes them to other parts of the form. Really a lot of options with Google Quizzes once you get into using sections.